Hello, 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 hello. Hey, baby.
Look, girl.
Is it hot enough for you today?
Yes, it is a hot and happy Pride. Happy Men's Mental Health Month.
All that good stuff.
How you keeping cool?
Trying to eat up all these popsicles. Freezing some ice, make some freezies. I don't do good I just don't do good in this weather.
You do not. You are like the opposite of a gremlin.
I don't like it.
So instead of you getting wet and going crazy, you literally dry, get hot, and that's when you snap.
I mean, I've been like this ever since I was a little girl. I don't do it. I like traveling in the summertime, but I can stay indoors. I do go outside to get my little vitamin D. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong, but it's just not. I'll take the snow.
That's
anytime.
A bit much. I prefer the. All my Twilight fans understand the Twilight light, where it's cloudy. It's bright outside, but it's not too bright. But it's cloudy enough that if you were a vampire, you wouldn't just bust into, flames.
Well,
but for me, it's the humidity.
Definitely the humidity. That makes a big game changer. You can't get enough of cool if the temperatures are matching.
Right, when the breeze feels like somebody is just blowing a hot breath in your face.
There's so much going with that.
You can't escape that, even in the shade. But if I can be even if it's in the sun and there's a cool breeze, we're good.
Yes.
We're fine.
I'm Angela the mom.
I'm Rajah the daughter. And this is Talking Brown Sugar. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Talking Brown Sugar. Remember, you can support the show online.
Facebook and Instagram.
At Talking Brown Sugar.
Email.
At talkingbrown.sugar@gmail.com.
YouTube.
Yes, take Talking Brown Sugar on the go by finding us on your preferred podcasting app as well as YouTube.
Check us out.
I used to think maybe you love me. Now, baby, I'm sure. And I just can't wait till the day when you knock on my door. Now every time I go for the mailbox, gotta hold myself down. 'Cause I just can't wait till you write me you're coming around.
I'm walking on sunshine. Whoa, I'm walking on sunshine. Whoa, I'm walking on sunshine. Whoa, and don't it feel good?
Hey!
All right now, and don't it feel good?
Hey!
I'm walking on
Sunshine.
whoa.
Walking on sunshine.
And don't it feel good? You ever take a reflection and look at yourself and you watch yourself walking? And then when you was a little kid, you was like, oh, I walk like so-and-so, or I walk like my grandfather, or somebody might even say you walk like your mother. But I'm looking at these little funny little kids now. They are mimicking their grandparents or whoever they're staying with. And it just tickles me. It just tickles me because I was observing some people walking today, and I was mimicking them in my mind. And then when I got up, I was walking like them too. And it was just tickling me. Sometimes you just need something just to tickle you and make you laugh, to take your mind off of what's going on with yourself in your world. But sometimes you just got to step out on the good foot and say, well, you know what? It's not that bad. We all going to have a limp eventually. And some of us just going to have a certain kind of strut.
I've been thinking about a couple of things. First, What are the real benefits for do-it-yourself or self-service options? Other than, being introduced as, if I do it myself, I some people believe that they can do it faster than the person who does it for 8 hours for however many days out of the week. Or you could be very particular and like things done a certain way and just like, I'm just going to do it myself. And sometimes, it used to be that it was the quicker way to check out because not everybody would do that option. But now it's like, they have increased security measures and cameras. And I'm like, we're just spending more money to have robots watch us do something for free. Like, who is this for? Like, what's the benefit?
What is it? You tell me.
Oh, I don't know. That's just out there, so y'all can chime in. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, what you think?
What's the real benefit for self-service options, do-it-yourself options?
Because you got too many now. You got to check in A, and then when you get to your destination, you got to check in B. So what was the purpose of me checking in A, and you stand there physically telling me?
Or yeah, you have to use a kiosk when you show up.
Or if you get there, you can't make no changes on the ops. What you gonna do? You can't do it.
Yeah, just some things that need to be worked out. Also, something I was thinking about just, with life and learning. I think this is for all the people with good hearts. Good people with good hearts have to be as bold as the people that try us. I'm going to put that on a shirt and make some designs and stuff around that. But in the same way that people have the audacity to try you or to use you, I'm talking about intentionally or being a crappy person to someone who's not just like good intentions but somebody who's being a decent person, or there's a, good program for people who are trying it. People with good hearts have to be that bold. And I think that applies to a lot of different things in life. If you are doing good, be bold about what it is you're doing, what you're trying to do. If you have a mission, a program you're trying to start, if you are a good person and people are taking advantage of you, or you feel like people are looking you over, be vocal about it and continue to do good, continue to be good in spite of the people that try us, the people that have the nerve to be out here doing people wrong, people who have the nerve to just take advantage. And that goes for like when you think about corporations, when you think about different institutions, organizations. If you are out there doing good, tell people the good that you're doing. We need more of that with what's going on in the world. And I think we have to be as loud as the people who are loud and wrong.
Exactly. Just like you see now on TV, all these mega church pastors, preachers are stepping down, or they find an ill fate, because nobody's perfect. But they got these masses of people who are looking for encouragement, word, or come to the church to lay their burdens down, and they doing all kinds of mess, We're not trying to throw nobody really up under the bus, but speak up for what's right for you. Don't let nobody take advantage, because it's going on all kinds of ways.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's time for the people who are doing good and are good to be loud and not just, be humble.
Yeah, it's getting us nowhere.
My last thing is nobody chooses to be fat. This is something I've been tinkering with just in seeing trends online and coming in contact with different and new people as I'm navigating my own health and healing journey. Nobody chooses to be fat. So like with online, big back trend, I think it's a lot of layered things with that. It's a new way to call people fat with it being funny. I know there are a lot of jokes and people find it funny. But I don't, and I don't think I would refer to myself as big bag. I do refer to myself sometimes as plus size, fat, a bigger body, but not necessarily big bag, because I think it hits at underlying issues people have with eating, and we have a lot of eating disordered eating, I think, in this country, because we have a lot of forever chemicals and things that are in our food that when we go to other countries, or the common discussion people are having is they didn't change their diet when they went to another country, but they lost weight. So it's something in our food, but also the habits and things we talk about. I remember learning about diet culture when I was not even a tween, when I was a kid, hearing about people, starving, or you shouldn't eat as much because you're around, your doctor telling you obese. I'm a kid. I'm outrunning people, and still now I'm getting back into being more active. And so as I'm getting more active and coming across different people who are watching me get active, some of the comments they say is like, oh, well, you should do this and this to lose weight. I am literally here about my health, or I'm doing this thing for my health. You don't think that's a part of it? Or even if it doesn't seem like it, why is that your business? Why do you feel the need to say that? Who asked you? So if you find yourself looking at somebody who's bigger, somebody who's fat, and you find yourself wanting to comment on the weight or telling them they should do something for their health, they already know. They already know what they need to do. They know how it feels to be in their body. The same way as if you saw somebody with something else they couldn't change in 5 minutes. They know what's going on. And if you feel the need to point something out, just give yourself 5 minutes. And if that thought passes, let it pass. But also, mind your business. Mind your business. People know what they have and they have going on, because this world is not fat friendly. Society is not fat friendly. And so, people just don't choose to be fat. People know what they have going on and they working on it. Or they got their stuff under control. That's their business.
And everybody, it wouldn't be a happy world without us. Thank you very much.
I didn't want to say I don't
because I'm like this. This is come from the mom side. What goes around comes around, because you never know what state of body, mental, you're going to be into yourself.
Yeah. So, I'm not even saying that either. I'm just saying people
right.
see people with a bigger body and they assume, oh, that's a disease, or that's like something I'm going to catch. But it's like, y'all didn't have that same heat for coronavirus.
And you still sick.
We're still dealing with it. And we outside, we in people's faces and all that. So it's just something to think about, and something I will be continuing to talk about as I step into being more bold and comfortable with myself and my body.
Yes. Always be bold. Yes, I like it. Sugar cubes, aka the news, where we put a little sugar in your cup.
Yep. First story we have up: the Oklahoma Supreme Court dismisses lawsuit of the last Tulsa Race Massacre survivors who were seeking reparations. The Oklahoma Supreme Court ruled that there wasn't sufficient evidence that the plaintiff's grievances about the deconstruction of the Greenwood district, although legitimate, did not fall within the scope of the state's public nuisance statute. It says the plaintiffs point to any physical injury to property in Greenwood, rendering it uninhabitable, that could be resolved by way of injunction or other civil remedy. The court wrote in its decision, it says, today we hold that relief is not possible under any set of facts that could be established consistent to the plaintiff's allegations. Yeah, so there have not been any immediate responses from the plaintiffs about it. That was earlier this month.
Mm-hmm. They could have fixed it. They could have worked out something.
Yeah, they said it wasn't within the...
This length of time, they could have had... They already had things written up. They already knew what they wanted to say. They had made their decisions up before they even got that far.
Yeah, and it's sad when you look at the age of the survivors. All of them were over 100 years old and not able to get justice.
Nothing.
I'll try to cut that out. So I don't know what justice would look like in the future sense, because the survivor, they're the last of the survivors. So
yeah. It's like they didn't even care. And I think that's a part of it, but they have people too. So the other part of the family is going to fight for that.
Yeah.
If they really want to have it. Yeah, the descendants. To keep it alive, because it's terrible.
And the Negro Leagues are now officially a part of MLB history records. Hundreds of black athletes who were shut out of the Major League Baseball a century ago are now officially a part of it. The MLB announced that it has incorporated the statistics of more than 2,300 Negro League players from the 1920s to 1948 into its records, which are now available in the newly integrated online database. Today's announcement is the first major step that makes the achievements of the players of the Negro Leagues available to fans via the official historical record, the MLB said in a statement. It follows the nearly 4 years of research and a move the league made in December 2020. That year saw both the 100th anniversary of the Negro Leagues and nationwide protests against racial injustice. The MLB said that at the time it was correcting a long-time oversight by officially elevating the Negro Leagues to Major League status and including their stats in the history books. All of us who love baseball have long known that the Negro Leagues produce many of our game's finest players, innovations, and triumphs against the backdrop of injustice, said the MLB Commissioner Robert Manfred. Some of the many dominant players include Satchel Paige, whom many subsequent greats deemed the best pitch ever. Power hitter Josh Gibson, who was considered the greatest slugger in the Negro baseball leagues, and Cool Papa Bell, whom the Hall of Fame says may well be the fastest man to ever play the game. Their statistics are now in the official MLB record, and some of their names have risen to the top of the leaderboards. Gibson, who died of a stroke at age 35 in 1947, is now MLB's all-time career leader in the batting average, slugging percentage, and on-base plus slugging percentage. He also holds the all-time single-season records in all three categories. So he passed at 35 years old from heart attack in 1947, and he is at the top of those records.
That was good. You know, Satchel Paige is one of my favorite baseball players. He went through so much. People need to check out some of his autobiographies. He went through a lot. Just like he made a way for like our fellow men now who have passed. You know, you got Willie Mays. They honored him. And they went through, I mean, you know, think about it. You're going to get killed to go run on a field if you make a home run or hurt your family. But I am so glad they're in the Hall of Fame. Yay! What do they say? Batter up?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting historical feat to consider because, you know, in the context of today's climate, we think about racism and things not being taught in schools and banned in books, and we don't have like public conversations. We're still not able to have public productive conversations about race on like a national, federal level. But I wanted to play a clip of Reggie Jackson talking about the history of being a black baseball player in the South in the 1960s and what that was like. So I'll play some of that.
Is it for you to come back to a play that you played with one of the greatest teams around?
Alex, when people ask me a question like that, it's like coming back here is not easy. The racism that I played here, when I played here, the difficulty of going through different places where we traveled. Fortunately, I had a manager and I had players on the team that helped me get through it. But I wouldn't wish it on anybody. People said to me today, I spoke and they said, you think you're a better person. You think you won when you played here in Concord. I said, you know, I would never want to do it again. I walked into restaurants and they would point at me and said, the nigger can't eat here. I would go to a hotel and they say, the nigger can't stay here. We went to Charlie Finley's country club for a welcome home dinner and they pointed me out with the N-word. He can't come in here. Finley marched the whole team out. Finally, they let me in there. He said, we're going to go to the diner and eat hamburgers. We'll go where we're wanted. Fortunately, I had a manager, Johnny McNamara, that if I couldn't eat, if I couldn't eat in the place, nobody would eat. We'd get food to travel. If I couldn't stay in a hotel, they'd drive to the next hotel and find a place where I could stay. Had it not been for Raleigh Fingers, Johnny McNamara, Dave Duncan, Joe and Sharon Rudy, I slept on their couch 3-4 nights a week for about a month and a half. Finally, they were threatened that they would burn our apartment complex down unless I got out. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. I wouldn't.
Did you hear that? We'll burn down a complex because somebody was providing him protection and shelter so he could sleep to go and play this wonderful baseball game people wanted to see. Could have been a child's first baseball game or someone just admirable fan ready to see Reggie Jackson, but the color of his skin made so much of a difference.
Yeah, and it's just wild to think about. There are people who played in the Negro Leagues who are still alive. We see a lot of pictures in black and white, and it's like, this is Reggie Jackson talking, still alive, about racism in the 1960s and how that was.
It's crazy.
And we still have ways to go, and I think that's a step in the right direction. But yeah, there's still more change that needs to happen. But that is positive that they have added the Negro League statistics into the MLB statistics, and I think it should be recognized as such. That's what we'll see in the future, how sports conversation, I wonder if that'll change the conversation about who's the greatest. You know, when you listen to the sportscasters discuss in real time, I wonder if the comparisons will change, or if they've been the same, or if the tone will change, if they have now access to more names that they can recall from that time period.
It'd be nice. Because without them, it wouldn't be now. They opened up a lot of doors.
This isn't new news, but it's new news. Mexico elects their first female president. Claudia Sheinbaum won a landslide victory to become Mexico's first female president, inheriting the project of her mentor and outgoing leader, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, whose popularity among the poor helped drive her triumph. She's a former scientist and mayor of Mexico City, and she won the presidency with a 58.3% and 60.7% of the vote, according to a rapid sample count by the Mexico's Electoral Authority. That is set the highest vote percentage in Mexico's democratic history.
Yay.
And so they're also, that's just triumphant news coming from the realization of the number of people who were assassinated prior to her win. So I hope that this is a good step in the right direction for the country.
Time for a change.
And our relationships. In entertainment news, Boy Meets World star Trina McGee is pregnant at 54. McGee, who played Angela, says she's signing off of social media for a little bit, but revealed that she's expecting her fourth child. At the tender age of 54, I have found myself pregnant, she wrote in a text post set to the music of Baby Love. It says, please bless us with your prayers for a safe delivery. Thank you. She captioned it, gonna sign off of social media for a bit. Thanks for your prayers and wishes in advance. So yeah, she was just letting people know she is expecting a baby at 54. And some haters were saying that she was saying that for attention.
Things happen. People in their late 40s, 50s, Even 60s end up getting pregnant because they haven't seen a monthly.
Yeah.
And the eggs are still there.
Yep. Still fertile. I've seen some other stories too where women 62, 48, 52 having babies. So
yeah, and some people not trying that IVF. It just happens.
Yeah.
I think, hey, read some of your historical stuff. Things happen. And back in the day, they was having babies up to their 40s and 50s.
And it's something to think about too with Black maternal health. So I understand her signing off to have a easeful, peaceful pregnancy.
Yes, stay away from the media.
I wish her the best.
Because we don't have to babysit the baby.
But I wish her and the baby the best.
Yes, wish her the best. Her and the little baby bundle is a joy to the family.
And we wanted to follow up on this local story. So the stingray who we thought was, pregnant by a shark, her name's Charlotte. She is actually not pregnant, but sick. It was called a miracle pregnancy. It's a rare case of parthenogenesis, but Charlotte, a round stingray who caused a big stir when her aquarium in Hendersonville, North Carolina, announced that she had become pregnant without the participation of a male ray. She's not pregnant after all, says she developed a rare reproductive disease that negatively impacted her reproductive system. The findings are truly sad and an unexpected medical development. So yeah, they can only tell us what they know for certain, and it's not a scam. They said it's nothing made up. They just were trying to figure out what was going on with her, in her weird but now rare situation. So on the ultrasound, they said you could see an embryonic ray, but they're not sure if that was something else, like with her embryos. They either were consumed or another ray ate them. So, yeah, Charlotte is not pregnant, just sick.
No baby shower.
For the stingray.
No baby shower.
In gaming news, in virtual news, IKEA wants to pay real people about $13 to $14 an hour to serve meatballs at its virtual Roblox store. The furniture store IKEA will pay people about €14.80 to €13.50 per hour to work in a virtual store that's opening inside of Roblox. The co-worker game, as it's called, will let players experience working in IKEA's virtual universe. The company said fans will be able to live their home furnishing dreams and get paid for it with a limited number of paid roles available. IKEA continued applications are running from June 16th through the 24th, so they've hired people.
I think that's good.
Made their selections now. And it says the immersive experience gives players the opportunity to experience IKEA's unique approach to careers where non-linear career journeys are the norm and lateral moves across departments are commonplace. It's IKEA's first foray into mainstream gaming.
I think other jobs ought to try that, you can learn it from the inside all the way up.
I think that's smart too, to tap into different kind of talent in different markets of people who may just want to try out and get a sense of what your brand is like too.
Yeah, because I like some of that furniture.
And to get paid for it. So I know in some virtual worlds, people assume those roles of monitoring different game rooms or different universes. They have people who are assigned there. And they're mostly volunteer, you can tell. So I think having a paid person, you can curate different experiences for people. And when it's paid, that's an incentive to keep it safe and enjoyable to the most part. But I think that is something to explore. And what is this, Web 3? The different iteration of the internet.
You have different people with different ages of their expertise on wherever they come from. It's a win-win.
Because Roblox is something else. We've seen a little kid laying hands on people.
Yes.
He was praying for people. He had people coming up to the altar. He was just praying for them. I've seen people have interviews in similar universes, conduct networking events. You have your own little virtual person. So it's definitely different uses, and I wonder how it can play to like hybrid spaces.
Oh, that's a good one. Definitely, because
So-
it's going there.
Yeah. And our last story, the grandmother of Juneteenth, Opal Lee, gifted a new house that was built where her family home was burned down 85 years ago. A racist mob burned down Opal Lee's family home in 1939. Recently, Habitat for Humanity helped build the activists a new home on the site. So this year, Juneteenth is even more meaningful for Opal Lee. She's known and has become known as the grandmother of Juneteenth. The 97-year-old received the keys to her new house this week, built where her family's Fort Worth, Texas home was burned down by a racist mob 85 years ago. Courtesy of various local Texas organizations, including the Trinity Habitat for Humanity in Texas Capital, Lee was given the property for $10. The house was built by History Maker Homes and furnished by retailer JCPenney. Speaking about the home and historic meaning behind it, Trinity Habitat and Habitat for Humanity CEO Gage Yeager, a friend of Lee, said, "With years of sadness for past atrocities and tears of joy for the momentous occasion, we are humbled and honored to welcome our friend Opal Lee home. There's truly no place like home." Yeah, Lee had been trying for years to buy back the land and rebuild her family home before discovering it had been purchased by Trinity Habitat for Humanity. So yeah, they sold it to her for $10.
Congratulations to her.
Yeah, and I hope it remains in her family for a long, long time.
I hope everybody takes care of the property, and that's something. It's a mouthful for me.
Yeah.
It saddens me, and it shows so much gratitude to rebuild it back.
Mm-hmm.
And they waited a while, 85 years.
It was a fight too.
Yeah.
To get it, to figure out who had taken ownership and
Yeah, the deeds.
Mm-hmm. And then just the life you live. You know, when things are when racism impacts your life to a way that you have to reroute and reconfigure out your life. Because imagine if she didn't have to face racism, she went on to become the person who's responsible for us having Juneteenth as a federal holiday.
Yeah.
And it was signed by President Joe Biden in 2021 into law. But she was the leader of that movement to get it recognized. And so just imagine the capacity we could have for a different country, even if we didn't have to fight racism or have to deal with racism. There are so many things we can't even get into just right now in this conversation about how racism...
It fills me up, really, it does. Because, to think about 85 years, I look at my people and remember some of the books and the stories. Even I have a picture of my grandmother when the hot dogs were 35 cents. But it was a sign saying whites and blacks. I didn't ever really think about that picture until now, a little bit. Because I never walked down that street. That was here in Durham. And to think of this lady's getting her home, her land.
Her family land back.
Her family land back.
After it was stolen. And so that's why we talk about reparations. We talk about the financial impact of Black people in this country. Historically, how we've been able to shift the culture, move the needle on different things. But at the same time, we have to fight twice as hard just to be seen.
Somebody's always trying to hold us back.
Just to be seen as human, treated as human. We try to play the game a different way. So it's just like, we're still here. We're still doing what we have to do. But I just can't imagine what it would be like if we didn't have to constantly be in this fight or flight mode while we're still just trying to enjoy a regular day. We trying to survive the heat, climate change, and other things that impact us even more because we're dealing with racism. So just the intersection of all of that.
And the political part, somebody's always trying to pull us back. Healthcare, somebody's trying to pull us back. Education, somebody trying to pull us back. Welfare for the children, older people pulling us back.
And it affects everybody.
Everybody.
When people think with a bigoted heart, think in line with systemic racism, institutions, and policies, when we think about how we can keep black people from having certain things, it's going to trickle down. It's going to impact other people. It's going to impact women's rights. It's going to impact LGBTQIA plus rights. It's going to impact immigrant rights. It's going to impact everybody with disabilities. It's going to impact all kinds of people when we cannot come together for the sake of how somebody looks or how somebody is different from the heterosexual white man. It is going to impact us all. So the sooner we can get on the same page of really being anti-racist and
it's not gonna hurt,
rebuilding and dismantling the things that are keeping us segregated, even if it's just on paper, we don't talk about it in person. If we can't start addressing some of this stuff for real, we're just going to continue down this path of ignorance, and we're going to get dumber by the minute. Because the babies are coming out of school not being able to read.
Can't read. Come on.
And if you can't read, you cannot relate to people. You cannot. It's hard to relate to people who try to talk over you, try to use you, and you can't understand what's happening on a bigger scale, the bigger picture of things that are happening to your money, things that happen to you at, your job,
I didn't
your
know
school.
that happened.
Right, travel, all kinds of things.
You done signed the contract and you didn't even know what you were signing.
Comprehend. And so if you can't comprehend, how do you have a conversation with somebody you think they're trying to slight you?
You done filled out a job application, but you didn't understand the job. Because you didn't...
Can't understand the joke. Everybody's laughing and you just didn't get the subtext.
You signed a contract with an automobile service.
You didn't got a limit.
You be like, what? What is 72 months? Oh, I didn't know. Yes.
It impacts how you move. Your day-to-day is impacted because of racism. Yes. Whether or not you perpetrate it or not. You have to be anti-racist. So, yeah. Oh, we also were going to talk about, Ken and Friends in the Pop-Out performance. He performed They Not Like Us 5-6 times, and people loved it. It was one of the highest viewed programs and streaming events on Amazon Music and Amazon Prime. So, breaking records. They still not like us. I'm looking forward to They Not Like Us fall and They Not Like Us winter.
We needed it. I think some people just needed that.
He a fan. 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 Don't be a fan. We have a Sweet Deets mention. That is a small business that's doing it big. Today we have Y&G contractor, Mr. Cecil Green.
Cecil Green? If y'all was to ever call this gentleman up Mr. Green, you will not be wrong. He does a little bit of everything.
He does waterproofing, drain work, gutters, and more.
And a little brick masonry. And we can always use some work on our homes. And he's honest. I give him that much. And he sticks by his word. That's hard to find. So call him up. Y'all can negotiate some good business.
Yep, they're serving the Durham, Raleigh, and Chapel Hill areas. You can reach them at 919-544-3104. Again, that's 919-544-3104. And we'll be sure to put those details in the notes. If you want us to promote your business in our next Sweet Deets mention, you can email us at talkingbrown.sugar@gmail.com with the subject line, business feature, with a few sentences about your business, product, or service. There's room for everyone to eat. been listening to the smooth jams of Talking Brown Sugar. Thank you for connecting with us on Facebook and Instagram, emailing us, following us online and YouTube, subscribing there. Also, you can help us out by leaving 5 stars and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We have polls on Spotify, and we will be having some other updates coming soon. So thank you for supporting. Don't forget to tell a friend, to tell a cousin, to tell a coworker.
Yeah. Wellness check.
It is officially summer. You know what that means? I mean, you can do this all year, but especially in the summer if you're going to be outside in the sun. Protect yourself from UV rays, and you can also help reduce any skin damage by wearing sunscreen. So that means you want to go for a sunscreen that has a higher SPF. The higher SPF, the better.
Yes, protect your skin because it's beautiful.
Yes, you only get one of those big organs. It replenishes over time, but not fast enough for that.
And if you have to get out early, get your pep in your step, get out a little bit early in the morning. It's not bad.
Oh, yes. I love a business at the top of the day. And then you got some wiggle room in that latter half.
Then you can go in the house and get you something cold to drink, like some good water. Or you can make your own alkaline water with some celery and some nice cool cucumbers in it. Let it sit in the water. I drink it. It's good.
No, I do like cucumber water. It is refreshing.
Yes. You know, if you want to get your little drink on, that's your business. I won't tell your mom. I won't tell your daddy.
Just stay hydrated when you do
Stay
it.
hydrated.
Especially if you're in the sun. Drink more water if you're going to be drinking some liquor.
And if you're taking your kids out, if you have them cute little thermoses y'all been buying or whatever, even the cheap ones, put some popsicles in it. Don't open them up. Put a couple of popsicles in it. Turn the top. This is something I used to do for my kids. I just thought of it. Mm-hmm. And you just keep it. And they would never know. They were like, what? We got some ices? What? Hey, keep one for yourself.
Or you probably just going to end up with the one they didn't finish.
Yeah, that works. It's hot in.
So hot in here.
Oh,
it's getting hot in here.
oh.
So take off all your clothes. I am getting so hot. I'm gonna take my clothes off.
I'm Angela the mom.
I'm Rajah the daughter. We out.